Verydarkman did not waste time. He went straight to the point as he faced President Tinubu. His words were not heavy, but they carried weight. He spoke in plain language so that nobody could miss his message. "Mr. President," he began, "the truth is simple. The release of Nnamdi Kanu is all that matters to us right now. Nothing is more important. His freedom will open the door to peace in the southeast. People want to see him out. People want to hear his voice again. People want him to lead them away from fear." He paused for a moment and continued, "I am not saying this because of politics. I am not saying this because of party. I am saying this because I see what is happening every day. I see the anger on the faces of young people. I see the tears in the eyes of mothers. I see fathers who are afraid to go to their farms. I see traders who close their shops too early because they fear unknown gunmen. I see the roads empty at night because people are scared. And I know, deep in my heart, that if you release Nnamdi Kanu, many of these fears will go away." Verydarkman spoke with a kind of urgency that showed he was not joking. He wanted the president to understand that the matter was not about pride or stubbornness. It was about life and death. It was about bringing calm to a region that had been boiling for too long. "Look at it this way, Mr. President," he said. "The southeast is bleeding. People are tired. They want hope. They want someone they trust to tell them to calm down. That person is Nnamdi Kanu. He has that voice. He has that power over the people. He can tell them, stop the violence, stop the killings, stop the destruction, and they will listen. Nobody else can do that right now. No governor, no senator, no minister can do what Kanu can do in this matter. That is why I say, his release is the key to peace." His voice grew stronger as he added, "We cannot continue like this. Soldiers are everywhere. Police are everywhere. Yet the insecurity has not stopped. That is proof that force alone cannot bring peace. Force can only scare people for some time. But true peace comes from dialogue. True peace comes from trust. And the one man who holds the trust of the people in the southeast is Nnamdi Kanu. Let him speak to them as a free man, and you will see a difference." Verydarkman then painted a picture with his words about how life could change if the release happened. Imagine a southeast where farmers can go back to their land without fear. Imagine markets full of life again. Imagine children walking to school without looking over their shoulders. Imagine Sundays where families can travel to see loved ones without worrying about being attacked. This is not a dream, Mr. President. It can happen. And it starts with one step, releasing Nnamdi Kanu. He explained further, people are angry because they feel their leader is in chains. They feel their voice has been silenced. That is why some of them act out of frustration. That is why some of them do violent things. Free the man they see as their leader, and you take away that excuse. You take away that fire that fuels the anger. That is the truth many people do not want to say, but I must say it because I want peace." Then he lowered his tone, but his words still carried power. "Mr. President, I am not here to threaten you. I am not here to disrespect you. I am here to tell you the truth that everyone knows but some refuse to say. Release Nnamdi Kanu, and you will be remembered as the man who brought peace to the southeast. Keep him locked up, and the anger will continue to grow. The insecurity will continue to spread. The killings will not stop. The tears will not dry. The people will continue to feel that the government does not care about them." Verydarkman made it personal. He spoke about the ordinary people. Think about the poor man who wakes up and wants to feed his family but cannot go out because of fear. Think about the young woman who dreams of starting a small business but cannot move freely. Think about the children who are growing up in an environment of violence and blood. Do you want them to grow up with bitterness in their hearts? Do you want them to see the government as an enemy forever? This is why I beg you, Mr. President, free Kanu. Do it not just for politics, do it for humanity. He looked firm as he concluded, "I am not saying that releasing him will solve every problem in Nigeria. I am not saying that it will end insecurity everywhere. But I am saying that it will change things in the southeast. It will calm the storm. It will open the door for dialogue. It will give us a chance to rebuild. And that is what matters now. That is why I stand here and say with all my strength, Mr. President, please, release Nnamdi Kanu. That is the key to peace. The message was clear. Verydarkman was not afraid. He believed in what he was saying. To him, the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu was more than a demand. It was a solution, a hope, and a call for peace. Governor Soludo listened carefully to what Verydarkman said. He did not interrupt. He allowed him to finish every word. But when it was his turn to speak, his voice was calm, steady, and filled with confidence. He wanted to make it clear that he did not agree with Verydarkman's point of view. Verydarkman, Soludo began, I hear your passion. I respect your courage. You are speaking for many people who believe that the release of Nnamdi Kanu is the solution to insecurity in the southeast. But I must be honest with you. I do not share that belief. I do not think that freeing Nnamdi Kanu will bring an end to the killings, kidnappings, and destruction in our land. The problems we face are bigger than one man. He paused, then explained further. When you look at what is happening in the southeast, you will notice something. Many of the people causing violence are not doing it because of Kanu. Some of them hide under his name, but their true purpose is different. They are criminals. They kidnap for ransom. They burn buildings for money. They kill innocent people to spread fear. They are not fighting for freedom. They are fighting for themselves. They use the name of Kanu like a cover, but their hearts are not with him. So, even if Kanu is released today, these people will not stop. They will continue, because crime has become their business. Soludo looked around and continued, we must be careful not to put all our hopes on one man. Yes, Kanu has influence. Yes, many people respect him. But the truth is that the insecurity in the southeast has grown beyond him. It has become a web of crime, anger, and poverty. That is why we must look at the root of the problem. The root is not only Kanu's detention. The root is unemployment. The root is lack of opportunities. The root is young people who feel abandoned by the system. The root is the failure of leadership over many years. If we do not fix these things, insecurity will not end, whether Kanu is free or not. He raised his hand slowly as if to stress his point. Think about it. For 2 years now, Kanu has been in custody. Yet insecurity has increased, not reduced. That is proof that the violence has taken another life of its own. If the people truly believed they were fighting for him, then the violence should have stopped by now, because everyone knows his detention is already a national debate. But instead, what happened? Violence grew. Unknown gunmen multiplied. Criminal gangs spread across villages and towns. Even ordinary citizens began to suffer more. This shows that many of the actors are not fighting for Kanu. They are fighting for personal gain. They will not listen, even if Kanu speaks from outside. They will not stop, because stopping means losing the money and power they are enjoying from this chaos. Soludo leaned forward and added, this is why I say we must face reality. We cannot deceive ourselves. Releasing Kanu might calm some people, yes. But will it end the insecurity? No. Because insecurity has now become a business. There are people making money from fear. There are people building power from violence. That is why we need strong security operations. That is why we need development. That is why we must create jobs for our youths, build industries, support education, and rebuild trust between the people and the government. Those things will give lasting peace, not just one man's release. He spoke in a slow but serious tone. We must not forget, insecurity in the southeast is also connected to what is happening in other parts of Nigeria. Banditry in the north, kidnapping in the southwest, and terrorism in the northeast. They all show that our country is facing a wider security challenge. So how can we say that one man's release will fix all of this? We cannot. It is too simple. It is too narrow. We must accept that the problem is larger, and it needs a larger solution. Then he turned directly to Verydarkman and said, I know you are speaking from love for your people. I know your heart is in the right place. But sometimes, love can blind us from seeing the whole picture. If we tell our people that Kanu's release will end insecurity, and then he is released but insecurity continues, what will happen? The people will lose hope again. They will feel betrayed. They will feel that we lied to them. That is why I do not want to base the peace of the Southeast on one man's freedom. I want to base it on real solutions. Soludo then explained what he thought those solutions should be. We need to rebuild trust between the people and the state. The people must feel that government cares for them. We need to create more opportunities for our youths, because idle hands easily turn to crime. We need to improve our roads, our schools, and our health centers, because development is another form of security. When people are busy with work, when children are in school, when families feel safe and cared for, violence will reduce. That is the true path to peace. Not shortcuts, not magic answers, but real work. His words were steady, and he never raised his voice. So, let me repeat it clearly. I do not believe that releasing Nnamdi Kanu has any direct link to solving insecurity in the Southeast. It may bring celebration. It may calm some nerves. But it will not stop the criminals who have already built their network. It will not stop those who kidnap for ransom. It will not stop those who burn police stations and attack communities. What will stop them is justice, security, and development. That is where I stand. With that, Soludo rested his case. He had spoken his truth, clearly and without fear. To him, the matter of peace in the Southeast was bigger than one man. He believed the solution lay in deeper changes, not in quick fixes. When Verydarkman finished his strong appeal to Tinubu, and Soludo also gave his reply, the atmosphere was filled with tension. Both men had spoken from their hearts, but their positions were very different. One side believed that the release of Nnamdi Kanu was the only way to calm the storm in the Southeast. The other side believed that the release of Kanu would not touch the real roots of the insecurity. It was a clash of two clear visions, and the difference could not be hidden. Verydarkman was the first to speak again, this time turning directly toward Soludo. His tone was still passionate, but now it was also a bit softer, as if he wanted to convince the governor with patience. "Governor Soludo," he said, "I understand your point. You believe insecurity is bigger than Kanu. I respect that. But let us not forget the truth we all know. The people of the Southeast see Nnamdi Kanu as their leader. They believe his voice carries weight. Even those who cause violence still use his name to cover their actions. That means one thing: if Kanu comes out and tells the people to stop, many will listen. Even if not all, at least a good number will drop their guns. That alone will make a big difference." He leaned forward slightly and added, "You said the insecurity is now like a business." "Yes, I agree. But that is why we need someone the people trust to break the chain. Government security forces cannot do it alone. Fear will only silence people for a moment, but it will not win their hearts. Only someone they trust can do that. And that someone is Kanu. Let us not pretend otherwise." Soludo replied immediately, his words sharp but not hostile. "Verydarkman, you are looking at Kanu as if he is a miracle worker. I tell you, even if he is released, the criminals will not stop. They are not loyal to him. They are loyal to money. Do you think the kidnappers who collect millions in ransom will suddenly listen to Kanu and drop their weapons? No, they will not. They are in this for greed, not for freedom. That is why I insist that tying our hope of peace to one man's release is dangerous. It will only disappoint us." The room grew quiet for a while, but Verydarkman broke the silence. "Governor, with all respect, the people are tired. They are crying for one thing: release of Nnamdi Kanu. You may say it is not enough, but it will show them that the government is listening. It will show them that their pain matters. When people feel heard, they calm down. That is why I keep saying, Mr. President must take that step. Free Kanu first. Then we can talk about development, jobs, and all the other things. But if you ignore this, the anger will continue, and insecurity will only grow." Soludo shook his head slowly, his voice firm. "You are putting emotions above reason. Yes, people are crying for Kanu's release, but leaders must look beyond emotions. Leaders must look at reality. What if he is released and the violence continues? What will you tell the people then? That we should find another person to release? That we should look for another quick solution? No. The truth is, we need to face the hard work of fixing our society. We must not deceive ourselves with short-term answers. Their words now sounded like two rivers flowing against each other. Verydarkman's river was full of passion, pointing to Kanu as the door to peace. Soludo's river was full of caution, warning that hope placed on one man could turn into disappointment. Both sides made sense, but they refused to meet in the middle. Then Verydarkman turned back to Tinubu. His voice grew stronger again. Mr. President, I beg you, listen to the people. Release Kanu. You will see the change. You will see calm return. This is not about politics. It is about life. It is about saving people. It is about giving the Southeast a chance to heal. But Soludo quickly added his last word. Mr. President, do not be carried away. Releasing Kanu will not solve insecurity. It may calm the crowd for some time, but criminals will continue. If you truly want to bring peace, invest in security, create jobs, and bring development to the Southeast. That is the only way. Peace built on emotion will collapse. Peace built on real action will last. The clash of views stood clearly before everyone present. On one hand, a passionate call for immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu as the answer to insecurity. On the other hand, a strong rejection of that idea, with focus on deeper, longer solutions. At that point, the matter was no longer between Verydarkman and Soludo. It was now in the hands of President Tinubu. He had listened to both sides. He had heard the passion of one and the caution of the other. Now the decision was his to make. The people of the Southeast waited, restless and anxious. They wanted hope. They wanted peace. They wanted a sign that their pain mattered. Whether through Kanu's release or through deeper reforms, they only wanted one thing, an end to insecurity. And so, the chapter closed not with a final answer, but with a question. Would Tinubu choose the path of release, as Verydarkman demanded? Or would he choose the path of development and stronger action, as Soludo advised? Only time would tell. But one truth was clear: both men had spoken their minds, and the future of the Southeast now rested on the choices of the president.